Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to read to you today one of our books in our science unit about weather and sunlight. This book is called Getting Warm in the Sunlight. The sun is just coming up. Morning in the desert is very cold. So I want you to make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen if the sun is just coming up? It is too cold for the lizard to come out. The lizard needs to be warm before it can run and hunt. Oops. The lizard stays in its warm, cozy hole. The sun comes all the way up. The sunlight shines on the rocks and the sand. The rocks and sand start to heat up. Even so, they are still too cool for the lizard to come out. Now it is late morning. The sun has been up for a few hours. All that time, the sunlight has been shining on the rocks and the sand. The rocks and sand are getting warmer. Is your prediction coming true about the sun? The lizard can come out now. It walks across the pale sand. The sand is warm. The lizard finds a dark rock. The rock is hot. The dark rock is warmer than the pale sand, even though both surfaces have been heated by the same sunlight all morning. I wonder why that dark rock is so warm. The sand is warm, but not as warm as the rock. Could it have something to do with the color of the rock and the color of the sand? The lizard sits on a rock and gets warm in the sunlight. Soon the lizard is warm enough to run and hunt. The lizard hunts for bees that are also out in the warm part of the day. They come out and fly around in the sunlight. The lizard catches lots of bees. The day goes on. Now it is the afternoon and the sun has been up for many hours. The sunlight has been shining on the rocks and the sand for a long time. The surfaces are even warmer than before. The dark rocks are getting too hot for the lizard. It runs to the pale sand, which is cooler than the dark rocks. Soon the pale sand also gets too hot. The lizard finds some shade to escape the sunlight. So it seems the longer the sun is out in the day, the warmer it gets. And when things are dark, like the rock, they get really hot. Later, the sun starts to set. The sun goes behind the mountains. The sunlight is not heating the rocks and the sand anymore. The rocks and the sand start to get cooler. The lizard runs back to his hole. It needs to get inside before the rocks and the sand are too cold. Oh, somebody's come out at night. I have a feeling that this should probably be. Oh, yep. That's really kind of one big picture. It is evening and the sunlight has been gone for a while. Now it is cold out. A fox comes out of its hole. The fox does not need the sunlight to keep warm. It can keep itself warm. Oops. And that's the end. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about what the sun does as the day goes longer.